Morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Thank you for joining us today for another 45-minute workout. Hope everyone's getting some value out of it and enjoying what we're bringing to you. So thank you again for joining us. Let's go ahead and get started. Today's workout is going to be a little bit more intense. We're going to focus on a little bit more shin box 90-90 work. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, and as always, when we're doing this, especially in the 90-90 position, if you feel that there's any type of pain, of course, ease out of it, regress some of these moves, stay in your comfort zone where you're okay. We don't want to overstimulate too many tissues and actually do the opposite of what we're trying to get at. So let's take a wide horse stance. Let's warm those feet up first this morning. We're going to stay out of the monkey hang to start with. We're going to go more directly and give the feet a little bit more stimulus today. So a nice wide base with the feet. Now from there, take the butt and drop it down about 3 inches towards the floor. And the torso stays up. So chest is up, head is stacked over the shoulders, shoulders are stacked over the hips. So this is what your side profile should look like. Horse stance is not anterior tilted and it's not leaning forward. We want to be nice and tall vertically. From here, the stick is a 12 o'clock position. Hands are about chest level. Bottom of the stick slightly angled towards you. From here, we're going to bring our heels up. The head does not change level though, so the head stays completely still. The stick doesn't move. Heels are up, focusing on centering the weight on your feet. Let's not get out too much to the little toe. Let's not get in too much on the big toe. Down slow. Imagine you're coming back down on eggshells and you don't want to break those eggshells. Back up. Hold, down slow, back up, hold. Now slowly roll out to the both sides of the little toes. So now slowly roll out. Try to get as much weight as you can on the little toes. Come back to center the weight on the feet, and bring the heels back down. And again, back up, hold, centering the weight on both feet, and now pull in on the big toes more. So your little toes should almost come off the floor. They're not taking any weight. Load those big toes, heels up. Shift back to center, so center the weight on both feet, and down slow. Let's go one more rep. Here we go, ready? Push the stick into the floor, heels up. Center the weight on the middle of the foot on both feet. Hold, and now hover the stick. Get those feet to wake up. Hold, don't lose your position. Stick down and relax. Nicely done. Okay. Stick at sternum level, parallel to the floor, palms facing forward, feet together. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate and step. So we're going to step forward with the left foot and rotate to the left. Exhale as you turn. Come back to center. And now we're going to switch feet. Step forward with the right foot and turn to the right. Try to pull the stick apart. As you turn, try to activate that posterior chain. Back to center. And again, step forward with the left foot. Turn to the left. Pull that stick apart. Breathe. Back to center. And again, right foot forward. Turn to the right. Pull that stick apart. About 40% tension. Back to center. One more time. Left foot forward. Turn to the left. Try to rotate a little bit more. Try to keep those hips facing forward. Back to center, and we'll get to the right. Step forward with the right foot, rotate to the right. Pull that stick apart, try to turn just a little bit more. Back to center, and relax. Now, let's go overhand position, all right? Pinky stay on the stick, so make sure your grip is wide enough, but not too wide where your pinky is going to fly off the stick. Elbows straight, pull apart on the stick. Pull. Breathe. Now, We're going to step forward the left foot. Bring the stick, rotate to the left. Keep pulling apart on the stick and slowly go overhead. Stay in rotation. Bring the stick down. You're still pulling apart on the stick and come back. What's going to happen is as you go overhead, your body may want to come out of rotation. Fight to maintain that rotation. All right? Pull apart on that stick, 40%. Step forward the right foot. Rotate. And go overhead. Keep your hips facing forward. You should feel that right adductor working hard to help you maintain your rotation. Back to center. And repeat. Here we go. Pull apart on that stick. Step forward with the left foot. Turn to your left. And go overhead. Keep your ribs down. Breathe. Come back to center. Step back. Right foot, ready? Pull. Step forward the right. Rotate. Breathe. Up overhead. Stay in rotation. Keep your hips square. Keep your ribs down. Come back to center. And relax. Good. Now, let's take a nice wide base with the feet. Take your stick, right hand. The right hand is right against your right hip. Place the stick at 9 o'clock. From here, take that left hand. Reach for 9 o'clock, but push your hips over to the right. Reach and push down on the stick. Come back up. And now, extend the stick out a little bit more. Now reach and shift your weight to your left hip. Push down on the stick with that left hand. Come back to center. And repeat again. Reach to the 9 o'clock position with your left hand, but sink your weight to your right hip. Reach. Try to extend that arm out as far as you can. Come back up. And again, ready? Reach. This time, shift your weight to your left hip. Breathe. Push down on that stick. Come back up. Now, let's move the stick to about 10 o'clock. Here we go. Left hand on top of the stick. Right hand stays right here at your hip. Reach for 10 o'clock, but shift your weight back to your right hip. So we're not just shifting sideways, but I also want the butt to push back. Reach out, push down on that stick with that left hand. Come back up. And again, reach, but this time shift onto your left hip. Breathe. Come back up. Now let's move the stick to 12 o'clock. Here we go. Ready? Push down with that left hand. Reach forward. Hinge. So we're pushing the butt straight back. Reach as far as you can and push down with that hand. Now, shift weight to your right hip. And shift weight to your left hip. Right. Left. Keep pushing down on that stick with that left arm. Back to center and relax. Move the stick to your left hip. Stick is off to 3 o'clock position. So left hand overhand grip, right hand, place the palm on top of the stick. Ready? Reach for the end of the stick, but sink your weight to your left hip. Push down on the stick with that right hand. Back up. Now reach and sink your weight to your right hip. Reach. Push down on that stick. Back up. Repeat. Reach. Sink your weight to your left hip. It's okay for your left hand to sit on your left quad. It's perfectly fine. Push. Push down into that stick with that right hand. Come back up and back to the right. Reach. Shift your weight. Sink your weight to that right hip. Reach. Back up. Excellent. Let's move the stick to 2 o'clock. Here we go. Right hand on top. Reach. And now sink your weight to your left hip and back. So I'm not only just pushing laterally to the left hip, I'm also driving my butt backwards. Pushing down on that stick with the right hand when I get to end range. Back up. Reach. Back up. One more to each side. Reach. Shift your weight to your left hip. Drive that butt backwards. Push down on that stick with that right hand. Back up. And again, reach. Sink your weight to your right hip. And push down on that stick with your right hand when you get to your end range. Back up. Now let's move the stick to 12 o'clock. Here we go. Right hand on top. Push down on the stick, slide forward, drive your hips straight back. Breathe. You're pushing down on that stick, adding some tension. Maintain that tension. Shift your weight to your left hip. Shift your weight to the right. Left. Right. One more to each side. Left. Right. You're pushing down on that stick with that right hand. Back to center and come back up. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and have a seat on the floor. If you need a bolster for your knee, then go ahead and set your bolsters. If you have a couch cushion or a yoga block, that works best. Remember, start in the shin box, which is a really short, a smaller angle. The sole of your foot is touching your left quad. So let's bring the right leg in external rotation. All right. If this right knee is sitting up nice and high and it's hard to get it down, place the bolster under the knee so that it relieves pressure and doesn't create as much torque on the knee. If you're having problems on this back leg and that sits bone is really high off the floor, then put that bolster underneath your butt cheeks and have a seat on it to take more pressure off that back leg internal rotation. If this is very comfortable for you, then open up to that 90-90 position. So that's 90 degrees on both knee joints, 90 degrees at the pubis area, and your torso is facing forward. So your torso is in line with your right femur, correct? Right now, boom, straight ahead. Place the stick at 3 o'clock and reach the arm up. You're using the stick as feedback, so that stick should be right along the ribs. You do not want to feel the ribs pushing into the stick. Pull the ribs away from the stick. Use these left lateral tissues to pull the ribs over, center your ribs. Nice tall position. Full inhale, full exhale. Breathe. Now from here, take that left hand and reach up. Keep your ribs down. As you reach up, you should reflexively feel the right hand pulling down towards the floor. Because where we have push, we have to have pull. Breathe. Ease off. If you get any cramping in your internal rotator tissues, any of the tissues in the area of your ribs, once again, come out of the position, move around a little bit, and then we'll go back into it, all right? Okay, ready? Here we go. Pull the ribs away from you, and now reach up with that left arm. Reach. Reach, reach, reach. As you reach, you should feel, the harder you reach, the more reflexively you should drive that stick into the floor with the right hand. Breathe. And relax. Take a second. Let your hand come down. Ease off a little bit. Here we go. We're going to go through that again. We're going to do a little active lift off of the stick this time. Reach up with that right hand. Maybe you can reach up a little bit higher this time. All right? Nice tall position. Pull the ribs away from you. If you actually need to use the other hand to pull your ribs away, then go ahead and do that. Maybe you need that feedback. Breathe. As you do that, you should feel these lateral tissues in here saying, hey, that's some work right there. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale through the stomach. Stomach first, chest second. Nice tall position. Driving the stick into the floor, 40% tension. So with that right hand, push that stick down. You should feel your right scapula pulling down towards your seat or down towards the floor. As that arm pulls down, your torso should actually be going up. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Push the legs down into the floor. Both legs are driving down into the ground. Think about, they should be trying to help you drive up away from the floor. And now lift. Actively reach for the ceiling with that right hand. Try to hover and lift that stick off the floor. Nice tall spine. Don't let those ribs leak out still. Keep the ribs underneath you. Breathe. Try not to arch the back. You should really be pushing a little bit harder with this right leg down into the floor to keep you upright. And relax. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So bring your left leg out from back behind you. Bring it in front. Remember, if you need to start in the shin box, then stay in the shin box, which is right here. Smaller, decreased angle. The sole of the foot is touching the right quad. Your torso is in line with the front shin. If that's easy for you, then slide back to that 90-90 position. 90 degrees at both knee joints, 90 degrees at the pubis area. Your torso, your sternum, is in line with this left femur facing 12 o'clock. Place the stick at 9, right along the ribs, left arm up. Pull the ribs away from the stick. Take that right hand, grab your left side ribs, and pull to the right. As you do that, you should feel these right lateral tissues working to pull your ribs underneath. From here, we're going to breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Now take that right arm and reach up. Reach for the ceiling. As you reach for the ceiling, you should feel that left arm reflexively driving the stick into the floor. Your right arm is your action, your left is your reaction. Breathe. Ease off. Try to not let your ribs leak out too much. As you ease off, try to still keep them underneath you. Ready? And again, reach. Pull your ribs underneath you. Reach up a little bit higher this time. Try to reach up a little bit harder. As you put a little bit more effort into reaching up, you're going to reflexively feel a little bit more drive into the floor with that left hand and the stick. Breathe. Do not hold your breath. Keep your ribs down. Do not flare the ribs. Ease off. Take a second. Okay. Try to reach up a little bit higher this time. Ready? Pull the ribs underneath you. Nice tall spine. Someone has a string at the top of your head and is pulling you upright. Push both legs down into the floor. Drive. So the right leg and the left leg are driving down. As you're trying to create that tall spine, these legs are trying to help drive you off the floor. Imagine they were trying to help you levitate off the floor. At 40% tension, push the stick into the floor with that left hand. Drive. As the left scapula pulls down, your torso should actually be going up. Pull the ribs away. Make sure the ribs are not leaking out to the side. Breathe through the stomach. And now lift. Hover. Drive that left hand up. Do not let those ribs leak out when that happens. You should feel these right lateral tissues working hard to maintain a nice tall spine and keeping those ribs underneath you. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Full inhale, full exhale, and relax. Bring your leg back on out. Take a second. We're going to switch sides again. So we're not going to stay in this position too long. That way it'll give you a little bit of break in between. We're going to go back to the right leg in front and the left leg behind. All right? Try not to use your hands to move your legs. If you saw what I just did there, I didn't use my hands to pull my leg back. A lot of people, that's what they like to do. You have hip tissues for a reason, so make sure you use them. Okay. Overhand grip on the stick. Remember, you're either in shin box or you're in 90-90. If you're in 90-90, your torso is in line at 12 o'clock with this right femur. Overhand grip on the stick. Breathe. Pull your ribs underneath you. Full inhale, full exhale. Nice tall spine. And now, move the stick out to the side. So you see how I'm starting to offset my lever? I'm challenging my torso. I'm challenging my oblique slings and my lateral tissues by lengthening the lever away from me. If that feels good, lengthen it again. Breathe. If that feels easy, lengthen it some more. Now with this longer offset lever, you should feel a lot more work going on through the midsection. Drive those legs into the floor to help keep you upright. The right leg should be working really hard right now to push down into the ground to keep you up. Bring the stick back in. And when you bring the stick back in, you feel how that releases that added stress. Okay, we're going to do that again. Ready? Here we go. Walk the stick out a little bit. Nice tall spine. Breathe. Some more. Okay, get to where you were at before, end range. And now, slowly extend the arms just a couple inches in front. Breathe. Now your posterior chain has to work a little bit harder to prevent you from falling forward. Extend the arms a little bit more. Full inhale, full exhale. Drive those legs into the floor. Nice tall spine. Try to extend those arms all the way out. Breathe. You should feel your right lateral tissues working really hard right now. Bring your arms back in. Walk the stick back to center and relax. Let's go to the other side. So we have left leg in front, tuck the right leg behind. Try not to use your hands to do that. Torso is in line at 12 o'clock, facing 12 o'clock, along with that left femur. Overhand grip on the stick. Nice tall spine. Everyone has a side that's not as efficient as the other. For me, this is my less efficient side. So this for me is much more challenging to stay in this position. Keep your ribs underneath. I'm in the middle of the stick, and now I'm going to slowly start to lengthen the stick out towards 9 o'clock. I'm driving the legs into the floor to help keep me upright. Breathe. Walk the stick out some more. Breathe. So for me right now, I feel way more work going on my right lateral tissues right now, my internally rotated back hip, than I do on the other side. Walk it out a little bit more as long as you can control the ribs underneath you. If those ribs start to leak out, that's compensation. So pull this, just stay where you're at or shorten the stick back to your original position. Breathe. We're trying to work and test our end range. Pull the stick back in, and you can feel how that eases off that stress. Okay, ready? We're going to do that again, and then we're going to also extend the arms forward. So we've got two different lever lengths increasing. Here we go. Ready? Drive the legs into the floor. Push. Walk the stick out. Ribs stay underneath you. Breathe. Nice tall spine. No tilting the head. Get to your end range where you were comfortable last time, relatively speaking that is, all right? But where you could still maintain your ribs underneath you and structural integrity. Now slowly extend the arms out a couple inches. Nice tall spine. Breathe. Pushing those legs into the floor. Try to extend the arms out a little bit more, as far as you can. You should feel those right side tissues working hard through your lateral line, oblique slings, and posterior tissues. Got a lot of stuff going on right now. Breathe. Slowly bring the arms back. Take a second. Let's do that again. Okay, ready? Tall spine. Walk the stick back out. And now slowly extend the arms. Keep your ribs underneath you. Push those legs into the floor. Bring the arms back in. And relax. Good. All right, come on up. If you need, let's go ahead and grab a pad for your knee, a couch cushion, whatever that may be. I have this set up so it's about counter level. So if you have a kitchen counter, this is what I would recommend. Or if you have a lip that's about a little below your sternum level, not too low, just about sternum level or so. So we're going to take a half kneeling position. So right now I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to place it forward. My right knee is going to be down. I'm going to take the end of the stick and I'm going to place one end on top of that counter. My left arm is going to be up, or my right arm, sorry, apologize. So if you can see, I have a little bit of an angle here. So I have a slight angle, so my right arm is up over my shoulder. The stick is basically angled off so that it's to my left. Take that left hand, reach up, and from here, with the left hand, your left hand is your action hand, pull down on the stick. Imagine you're trying to pull that left elbow down towards your left glute. There's your action. Your reaction is your right arm reflexively pushing up. Once again, where you have push, you have to have pull. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Ease off tension. Rotate the stick slightly so we're not flexing the same direction all the time. Ready? And again, pull. Left hand is driving down. Right hand is reflexively pushing up. Breathe and relax. Make sure also that back foot is not across your midline, so we don't want external rotation on that back hip. Make sure your back lower leg is in alignment with your upper leg. Ready? One more rep. Rotate the stick slightly. Tall spine. Ready? And pull. Left hand drives down. Right hand is reflexively pushing up. Breathe. And relax. Let's switch sides. Left knee is down, right leg is in front. You can see my toes are in the floor. Make sure the lower and upper leg bone are in line with each other. So if you're looking straight ahead of me, you wouldn't see my back left foot. Left hand, overhand grip. Extend it up so the left hand is over the left shoulder. Angle the stick slightly so that the right end of the stick is in line with your right shoulder. Reach up with that right hand, overhand grip. Ready? Active pull. Pull. You're trying to drive that right elbow down to meet your right glute. Breathe. Keep a tall spine though. Your left arm is reflexively pushing. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly. And again, pull. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly. One more rep. Here we go. Ready? Pull. And relax. So, when you have the active pull, you're working your lateral tissues and your obliques to pull down and contract. Well, your other side is actually pushing away, which is actually actively opening up the opposite side. All right? Okay, let's go into our monkey hang. Feet about shoulder width apart. Place the stick right at 3 o'clock. Reach your right hand up. Today, let's go fingertips. All right? So, fingertips. From here, bring the left hand across, sternum level. Grab the stick. It's there to make sure that you know the stick is going to hold your weight. And now drop. Remember, if you have a shorter stick and you're taller or have a longer arm span, simply use a chair and put this on the chair, and that automatically gives you an extra foot of height. If you have long arms, if you had the opposite of me, I got tiny little T-Rex arms. So we're lengthening, we're stretching passively on that. We're letting gravity do its thing. Breathe. Ease off tension. Okay, ready? Give your fingers a little shake out if you need them. Here we go, ready? And again, drop. Full inhale, full exhale, nice and slow. As if you know that stick is going to hold, then take your left arm off. Now, take that left hand and reach for the floor. As you reach for the floor with that left hand, you should feel a change in the shoulder slot of the right arm. It has to change a little bit to allow you to reach for the floor. Come back up, but stay in that hang position. And again, reach. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Come back up and relax. Let's switch sides. Stick is at 9 o'clock, fingertips at the top. Bring that right hand across if you want, but you should already know that the stick is going to hold your weight, so not necessary. Ready? And drop. But if you have some friends that you want to show this move to, tell them to grab the stick, because if you tell somebody that has never used this, or even a regular PVC pipe from Home Depot or whatever, they're going to look at you like you're nuts to hang their weight on one single stick. So make sure that they're confident and they have that peace of mind that that stick is going to hold them by having that hand come over for assistance, all right? That way, if the stick starts to shoot out, this hand can hold it in for them. We're just stretching and letting that left arm lengthen. I know the stick is going to hold me, so I'm good just releasing my right arm. My butt is just dropping towards the floor. Ease off. Give the fingers a little shake out. Ready? And again. If you're doing this with a thick wooden dowel, then we know that that's not going to flex. So hanging from that is going to be much easier. Okay. From here, take that right hand and reach for the floor. There's a big shiny red button down there at the floor, and we all know what we do as humans when we see big shiny red buttons. We just can't help but try to push them. Push. And as you do that, you feel the change in that shoulder and arm slot in that left arm. Ease off. Stay in the hang though. Ready? And again, reach. Reach for that big shiny red button down there. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Come back up and relax. Take a little breather. Now, let's go ahead and stretch out that hamstring. We're going to go ahead and lay down on our backs, all right? we're going to be facing up, so we're on our back. What I want you to do here, I'm going to take a little bit of a change here, because what I want you to see is how I want the setup. What happens is when we go to stretch our hamstrings, when we bring one leg up, when we reach our end range, this typically happens. This hip flops open, and then we get a greater range of motion. We need this hip to stay neutral or facing up to the ceiling. Don't allow that off leg to flop out to the side. That's very key here, all right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to lay down on our back. Let's go with the right side first. So flex your right hip, place the stick parallel with the floor against the hamstring. Both ankles are dorsiflexed right now. Underhand grip on the stick. Breathe. Remember, keep that left hip facing the ceiling. Do not let that left hip get lazy. That takes work to keep that left hip square to the ceiling. Push the stick against the hamstring lightly at about 30%. As you push that stick against the hamstring, you reflexively should feel that leg want to push back. It should be a reflexive response. Maintain that tension and now slowly extend the foot up. Breathe. You should feel that nice, active lengthening of that hamstring. Keep the ankle dorsiflexed. Don't let it go into extension. You're not a ballet dancer. Bring your foot down. I sure as hell wouldn't look good in a tutu. Okay, ready? Here we go. Pull the stick into the leg, 30% tension. And now slowly extend the foot. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. Bring the foot down and relax. Time to switch legs. Here we go. Bring your right hip up into flexion. Place the stick parallel with the floor against the hamstring, sorry. Right leg does not flop out like I'm doing right here. Activate those hip tissues and pull that leg in. Rotate it in so that the hip is facing 12 o'clock. Both ankles are dorsiflexed. Push the stick into the hamstring at about 30% tension. You should reflexively feel that desire to want to push back. And now slowly extend the foot. Reach that heel up towards the ceiling, keeping the ankle dorsiflexed. If you can't get your leg completely straight, it's perfectly fine. Remember, your range of motion is your range of motion. When you tell somebody they have bad range of motion, you make them feel pretty shitty about themselves. Ease off, bring your foot down. So your range of motion is your range of motion. We're just going to keep working to increase it, all right? So we're going to work on improving it. That's our goal. Pushing the stick into the hamstring, and now slowly extend that foot. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. And ease off. All righty. Nicely done. Come on up. Okay. Now, let's work and open this up, this front tissue up. So, half kneeling position for people that don't have a really good range of motion through the anterior hip capsule. If you do, then we can use the couch or a chair, the seat of a chair, or elevate up with some yoga blocks, something a little less. So I'm going to start with the chair because I have that range of motion through this anterior tissue. So self-regulate, think of what you have access to, all right? So I'm going to put my left foot up first. So the top of my left foot is on the chair, and I'm going to drop down so that my knee is resting on the floor. The stick is a 12 o'clock position. I'm going to place my right hand right here. Left hand is up top. From here, I'm going to take the stick. I'm going to push the stick down into the floor with the left hand. I'm going to push the top of the left foot down into the bench, into the seat of the pad. Push. I'm going to squeeze the left glute, tuck that pelvis. Posterior pelvic tuck. So as I posteriorly pelvic tuck, which means the bottom of the hip is going forward, the top of the hip is rolling back, I'm going to feel an increased stretch in that left anterior hip tissue. And now remember that stick is going to be about 8 to 10 inches in front of the toes. Now with that right hand, push forward. As you push that right hand forward, you should actually feel an increased line of tension in that left anterior hip. Breathe. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly. And again, if you kind of reach up a little bit higher with that left hand, go ahead and do that. Ready? Push the left hand down into the floor at 30% tension. Push the top of the left foot down into the pad of the seat at 30% tension. Squeeze that left glute, posterior pelvic tuck, and now push that right hand forward. Breathe. Active push on the right hand, reflexive pull on the left. The left elbow is staying straight. There's no active pull on that left arm. Ease off tension and relax. Remember, active pull is when you're trying to actively flex the elbow. That's not what we're looking for here. All right? Switch legs. My right foot is going to go on top of the seat, dropping the right knee down. If you're trying to extend your range of motion and you make that excruciating, this hurts face, you're beyond your range of motion. All right? This is not a face making contest. This is opening up tissues and seeing what we have. Stick at 12 o'clock. The stick is about 8 to 10 inches away from in front of my midfoot. My left hand is right here, chest level. My right hand is up top. I'm going to push the stick down into the floor at 30% tension with my right hand. I'm going to push the top of my right foot down into the pad of the seat. Squeezing that right glute, give yourself a posterior pelvic tuck to open up the front of the right hip. And now with the left hand, actively push forward. You're going to feel that increased stretch in that right activation of the right anterior hip. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly. Reach up a little bit higher if you can. Ready? Push the top of the right hand down, top of the stick down with the right hand. Push the top of the right foot down into the pad of the seat. Posterior pelvic tuck with the right glute. And now actively push with that left arm. Breathe. Reflexive pull with the right. Breathe. Full inhale, full exhale. And relax. And now let's just do a little bit of thoracic reaching to finish up with, okay? Let's take a nice wide base with the feet, a little bit wider than shoulder width. Let's place the stick at 3 o'clock. Right hand, top of the head level. Arm stays at 3 o'clock, so don't be moving that arm back and forth. Push the stick into the floor at 30% tension. Feel the right lateral tissues and hinge. Sinking your torso down towards the floor. Now take that left hand, reach across, grab the stick, overhand grip, and now push. Don't shift your weight. Actively push with the left hand. You have active push on the left, reflexive pull on the right. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly. And again, push. And now maintain that push and shift your weight to your left hip. Ease off. Come back up. Switch sides. Stick is at 9 o'clock. Left hand is top of the head level. Left arm stays at 9 o'clock. Push the stick into the floor, 30% tension, and hinge. Push your hips straight backwards. Feel that opening through the left pec, left arm line. Try to lower your chest towards the floor, keeping your back flat. Take that right hand, reach across, grab the stick, overhand grip, and now push. Actively push that right arm out to the side. Do not shift any weight on your hips. You have an active push on the right arm, reflexive pull on the left. Breathe. Ease off. Rotate the stick slightly. Ready? And again, push. Active push on the left, on the right, reflexive pull on the left, and now sink your weight to your right hip. Back to center, and relax. Great work today, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this class again. As always, this will be available on our YouTube channel. I think this makes workout number 18 or 19, so we have quite a good library. Something that you may want to do, if you have certain moves that you really like from each workout, go back, you can reference them, and then start to make your own workout, all right? Also, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate that. Our podcast, our last episode, Neil and I discussed being creative with your workouts when you're stuck at home, all right? So trying to get you to think not in the box. There is no box. Let's remove that box and let's get creative about how can I train myself when I don't have a gym available to me, all right? So please, if you like the podcast, please subscribe, leave a review. We really appreciate it. Today's Tuesday. Hello. Losing track of the week already. Holy crap. We'll see you guys back here on Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Until then, everybody be out there, be safe, be good to each other. Peace.